Alright, so you want to do a retro gaming console championship or tournament. So I'm going to try and give you some keys to success. Some of the things that I've learned over the last two of them that I've done. So why do a retro console tournament? I have my notes down here, so I'm looking. One of the things to me is that a classic console gives you the opportunity to do something that online consoles don't. And those online consoles have their place. I already hear all the yelling and hooting and hollering. They're fun. But classic consoles, which I define as anything that uses cartridges and is before 2000. Okay? So N64's in, GameCube out. Anyway, and even that will change over time. 10 years from now, PlayStation 2 will probably be, PlayStation 4 will probably be considered classic. Who knows? For now, that's how I define it. But the reason I want to do it is pretty simple. It's a lot of fun. I mean, classic consoles, you get to see the person face to face. You know, laughing and hooting and hollering, that little elbow rub, move over, you're messing me up. Kind of nostalgic feel that you had when you were kids. Or when you were growing up. Now, the other thing is that online consoles, they add that extra little bit of X factor. Me being out here in Hawaii, it's hard to compete online. I get lag like there's no other. It's pretty high latency out here because I'm in the middle of the Pacific. So if I'm going to connect with someone in even California, they have an advantage. Retro consoles equalize all of that. There's no lag, there's no latency. There's no bigger TV, smaller TV, whatever. You're on the same hardware, same TV. You know, what else could you ask for? It's time to compete, right? You can get that old controller throwdown, elbow rubbing, face-to-face kind of thing. It's a lot of fun, you know. I mean, how could you go wrong with that? Retro consoles just get me excited. I love them. I think they're a lot of fun. So here's some keys to success. First, you want to lay everything out. Have it all planned. So first, let them know the date. Second, let them know when they need to notify you by. You don't want people showing up the day of, okay? Give them about a week out and say, by this date, if I don't hear from you, see you the next time. No big deal. But that way they're more committed to coming, and you know how many people to make seating for, okay? Seating is a big thing. Without the head count, you don't know how many extra chairs you need. Whether your couch can fit everybody or if you need to use a different room in the house. I ended up using both the living room and the kitchen, and I brought in 3 TVs. Well, I had 1 TV, but I brought in 2 more TVs. An extra console for the Super Nintendo, for example. So get a head count and get it early. The other thing is the games themselves. Let them pick the games. Let them vote for the games. If you're doing more than one, even better. But I had them pick out the games. Because you don't want everybody showing up to your tournament and all you're doing is playing the games that you're good at, that you love. That's not a tournament. That's a hangout. And it's centered mostly around you. So they're not, who knows if they're going to have any fun. So let them pick some of the games. Let them vote. So this upcoming one, we're doing Hogan's Alley for Nintendo, and Ice Hockey for Nintendo, Super Mario Kart, and Killer Instinct for the Super Nintendo. All games that the guys picked, so make sure that you have those games also. I know a lot of you are saying, hey, I can just do all this on the emulator. Emulators have their place. Don't get me wrong, but personally, it's not something that I enjoy. The whole purpose of a retro gaming console event is so that you can have that nostalgic feel of the actual controller, the actual console, the actual manual, that feeling of the original game as it powers up, in the system. You can do it with emulators. I've tried it. It's just not the same. Everyone knows it's not the same. It doesn't feel the same. So, do what you want, but I recommend the actual consoles. So, which kind of rolls into the third thing, be prepared. I gave them a list of games to vote for that I had, and I have a pretty large library. If you don't, and they vote for a game that you don't have, You might need to go get it or borrow it. Pick one up on Craigslist or eBay. Somewhere pretty inexpensive. If they're asking for a game like Donkey Kong Country or something that's ridiculously priced, obviously you're not going to do it. But give them a list of games to choose from. Make them popular, something fun. Street Fighter 2 is a great example. You can do single player games. I did Excite Bike, one of them where they're just, comparing times against each other. Super Dodgeball was one that I did. That was awesome. Track and Field 2. There's tons and tons of games that you can go head to head, with each other. So just be prepared. That's a big key to success. The other thing is, once you get a head count and you have the games selected, let them know how you're going to do food. Okay, there's 2 ways you can do it. You can bring your own food or charge people. I decided to charge people so that no one had to bring anything. And I also made it so that we ate before the tournament started for 2 reasons. One, let people hang out. Maybe they need to practice. Maybe they haven't played these games in a while, right? Let them practice. Some of them will probably be practicing on emulators of the games themselves in preparation for the tournament. But let them practice. It also lets people kind of relax and soothe into the tournament, because you don't want to just jump right into it and start, especially when people are hungry. I actually charged a head count, charged a fee for each person. Anyway, so that would help me cover the food, the drinks. So I ordered all the pizza, had all the Cokes. That way, all they had to do is just bring the money. And even though they're all my friends, they did not care. They didn't hesitate one bit. Okay, it makes it easier. Everyone knows it costs money. I had to get tables, I had to get chairs. I got extra power strips just so that people could charge their phones. It's just the little things, the games themselves, they kind of add up. So have them help you out. That's one of the things I did. Also with prizes, when they win a tournament, give them a prize. I did, here's some ideas. Like for the winner of Super Dodgeball, they got a lanyard, like a Star Wars lanyard and like a Rubik's Cube. I mean, it doesn't have to be anything extravagant, right? Something simple, something easy. Nothing that people are going to get a fight over, but something that they want to fight over, if that makes any sense. Anyway, so, some of the prizes will cost some money, so that will also help offset some of that cost. You don't want this to go all on you, okay? So ask for some help. Ask for a fee, a cover fee. The other thing about atmosphere, once you have everything set up and prepared, test. Make sure your games work. Make sure your consoles work. Make sure your controllers work. Make sure your TV works. You don't believe how some of these old consoles and old games and old controllers need a little bit of loving to get working again. So get them up to speed, get them working. Make sure you have everything in order. Once they get here and they get settled in, and they're eating, order the pizza and get the pizza here. I also do a little bit of music. I have Pandora running on a Bluetooth speaker just to kind of add a little bit of energy, so it's not such dead quiet. And once the games get going, it gets kind of loud, but having the music adds to that energy in the atmosphere, and I highly recommend it. You can put posters up. I had a tablecloth on the table. It's a Super Mario one. I got it from Party City. It's really cool. But just do whatever you can to kind of add to the atmosphere. Make it a gaming environment. You don't have to go all out, but anything extra you can do helps. Once they get to playing, here's an example. Get some brackets. Print these out. Let them see how they're doing. Let them see where they stand and who they got to play next, and it gets them interested in watching the games. So what you don't want is people sitting around waiting, on their iPhones or whatever, and just kind of hanging out. That's the other reason I had extra TVs for practice, getting ready. The other thing that you can do to make it a success, print out the instruction manuals. I printed these out once and I've used them both times. This is going to be the 3rd tournament. We played Samurai Showdown 2, which is part of the Neo Geo, which I did have to emulate on the Wii Virtual Console, but we use arcade controller sticks, so it was pretty cool. Anyway, print out the instruction manuals. A lot of times these games haven't been played in a while. People don't know how to play them, they feel uncomfortable, but if you lay these out as they're practicing or right before they play, they take a look to see how to do a move. you see it changes things and it really gets them motivated. So brackets and instruction manuals, those are really cool to print out because you don't want the actual one trying to get split between 10, 15 people. It's not going to happen. Okay. The other thing I would say, you want to look at possibly doing game recording. I've had some requests to do that. That's a really cool idea. Last time what I did is had people actually take photos and do recordings themselves. It worked out awesome because one of the things that game recording doesn't get is all the interactions between people. And I just told people, hey, just give me a random 10 seconds of gameplay or of the two on the table that were playing the main final game or whatever. And we made a video of it and it came out really cool. That was a lot of fun. So game recording is definitely something that you may want to look at as a possible, it just adds to the atmosphere of, hey, this is, I can, see how I did. A lot of gamers want to see what they did wrong too, so that also helps. So game recording. Anyway, I hope this video has given you some ideas and kind of laid it out for you. Like I said, be prepared, lay it out. Have them help you with the cost if you have prizes and things. Get your brackets out, get your instruction manuals out, get some extra TVs, extra tables, chairs, do some game recording. These are all things that I've done over the last year for doing these game tournaments for retro consoles. You do it how you like. These are just some of the things that I've learned. So hopefully this helps. Have a good one.